From the NCN Sports Desk, this is Kyle Mathas with your All Red 995 Sports Report. The Sports Report is brought to you by Crete Area Medical Center, Wilbur and Friend Medical Clinics, Smith Auto in Pawnee City. Learn more at smithauto.ne.com. Riverside Chevrolet in Fairbury, Thayer County Health Services in Hebron, Bruning, Davenport, and Deschler. Southeast Valley Irrigation, your Valley dealer in Bruning. Certified Truck and Trailer Repair in Geneva. And Currency makes financing quick, easy, and secure for heavy machinery, ag equipment, trucks, trailers, and more. Visit gocurrency.com for details. In high school football scores this weekend, Crete lost to Mount Michael Benedictine 8-6 in a low-scoring affair. Dorchester defeated St. Edward 59-26, showing off their electric and explosive offense. Deschler fell to the hands of Giltner 44-6. BDS blew out High Plains Community 32-0, showing that they hope to have another great season. Diller Odell fell to Osceola 54-8, and Wilbur Claytonia lost in a nail-biter to Hastings St. Cecilia 20-14. The Beatrice Orangemen football team lost 35-16 to Gross Catholic, bringing their record down to 0-2. The Orangemen have had a tough start to the season, having to play two of the top three teams in the state of Nebraska in Week 1 and 2. In volleyball scores this weekend, Wilbur Claytonia lost in its doubleheader Saturday to Bishop Neumann and Clarkson 2-0 in both games. Fairbury played 4 games Saturday, winning 2 of them. They beat Bishop Neumann and Wood River 2-1 in both games, but were defeated by Centennial and Sutton in straight sets, also in both of those games. The Doane Tigers lost in its opening game of the season against the Graceland Yellow Jackets 42-17 in Lamoni, Iowa. The Yellow Jackets had an outstanding game with 5 touchdown passes thrown by quarterback Cade Ross and 4 touchdown receptions by wide receiver Gerald Monroe. The Tigers had a good game from sophomore quarterback Cruz Kerwin and senior running back Frazee Wynn. The Tigers will have the live coaches show this Wednesday at 7 p.m. in Crete, and they will play Dordt next Saturday at 1 p.m. in Crete as well. That game can be listened to on Ole Red or watched on News Channel Nebraska. It is officially game week for the Nebraska Cornhuskers. They are set to do battle with the Minnesota Golden Gophers Thursday at 7 p.m. Matt Rule talked to reporters Friday about the upcoming Minnesota game.
I'm confident that we're going to be a physical team. I'm confident that if things don't go well early, that we're not going to panic. I'm confident that if things do go well early, we're not going to celebrate. You know what I mean? I think our guys understand that this is a 60-minute game and this is a 12-game season. And I'm confident we'll have fun together.
Thursday's game can be watched on Fox. In other college football news, Arizona State University will be banned from a bowl game for a season after a self-imposed ban from the team because of an ongoing investigation from the NCAA about the school's football team. The Kansas City Royals were swept by the Seattle Mariners this weekend. Both games on Friday and Sunday were less than 3-run losses, but the game on Saturday was a 15-2 blowout. The Royals will play the Pirates this week before playing the Red Sox on the weekend. All of those games in Kansas City. The Kansas City Chiefs beat the Cleveland Browns 33-32 in the final game of the preseason.
Oladokin moving to his left. He's going to throw. The Bushman. He holds on. Touchdown Chiefs.
Blaine Gabbert had 169 passing yards with 2 touchdowns in the win, with Denerick Price carrying the pigskin for 45 yards. The Dallas Cowboys defeated the Las Vegas Raiders 31-16 Saturday. Will Greer had 305 yards and 2 touchdowns for the Cowboys in the win. Receiver Tyrone Johnson had 90 yards in the air. Chris Buescher is the Coke Zero Sugar 400 race winner Saturday, beating out Brad Keselowski and Eric Amarola for the win. He wins his 3rd race of the year.
Elliott pushing the 4. Buescher and Keselowski. Now, which line will they take through 3 and 4 for the final time? Buescher separates a car length between he and Keselowski. As they come to the tri-oval, Buescher's going to win at Daytona.
The playoffs start next Sunday with William Byron leading the standings. Martin Truex Jr. and Danny Hamlin sit in 2nd and 3rd. Race winner Buescher is in 4th. Victor Hovland is the winner of the 2023 FedEx Cup after winning the Tour Championship Sunday by 5 shots over Xander Schauffele. The Norwegian youngster shot 27 under par for the win and becomes the 5th international player to win the FedEx Cup.
He's the season-long victor.
Hovland is the third youngest player in history to win the Cup. With the event finished, the PGA Tour season concludes for the year. That will do it for your All Red 995 Sports Report. I'm Kyle Mathas. From the NCN Sports Desk, this is Kyle Mathas with your All Red 995 Sports Report. This Sports Report is brought to you by Match Express Food, Shop, and Oil, your Sinclair gas and diesel stations in Fairbury, Hilltop Performance and Fitness in Crete, Husker Rehab in Fairbury, Beatrice, Lincoln, and Nebraska City, Star Buco Insurance in Fairbury, Wells Implement in Plymouth, Clausen and Sons Dirtwork of Beatrice, and by Star Plumbing, Heating and Air Conditioning of Fairbury. We start in high school softball scores. Diller Odell defeated Blue River 2-1, and Wilbur Claytonia lost to St. Paul 15-0 Monday. Norris will play Blair away. Crete will play Fairbury in southeast Nebraska. Wilbur Claytonia will play Milford at home, and Beatrice will go up against Wahoo on the road in softball tonight. In volleyball scores, which we have a lot of them, Beatrice will play Plattsmouth at home along with Crete, who will play Columbus. Tri-County will play Fall City, Sacred Heart, and Fairbury will play on the road against Milford. Norris will go up against Lincoln Northwest away. Wilbur Claytonia will play Nebraska Lutheran at home, and Diller Odell will play Southern away. York will play a doubleheader against Omaha Ronsali Catholic and Platteview, and BDS will play two as well against Sand Creek and Sutton. All of those games will be played tonight across the state of Nebraska. Bishop Newman fullback Connor Booth committed to Nebraska and plans to play both football and baseball. Booth accounted for 20 total touchdowns in 2022, and he is part of the class of 2025. Nebraska hopes to have him become a big part of the running game. Jeff Sims talked to reporters ahead of the Nebraska game about third down conversions and how important it is to the offense.
Third down is everything. We want to be an offense that converts most of their third downs. So that's been a big emphasis for us in practice, just practicing those different third down situations and making sure that we have the discipline to do what we need to do on third down.
Nebraska was 40% on third down conversions last season. They play Minnesota Thursday. Nebraska freshman Harper Murray was named Big Ten Freshman of the Week by the conference office Monday. Murray finished the weekend in volleyball with 14 kills and 10 digs for her first collegiate double-double. Nebraska plays Omaha in a volleyball match in Memorial Stadium Wednesday. The game is part of Volleyball Day in the state of Nebraska. The Royals lost to the Pirates Monday 5-0 in Kansas City. It is the first game of a 9-game homestand for the Royals. The home field advantage was not present in the game, and the 4 hits from Pirates third baseman Q. Brian Hayes pushed Pittsburgh to the W.
And he's going to. It's a 5-3. Raise the Jolly Roger in a masterpiece on August 28th. Johan Oviedo, a 2-hit shutout in Kansas City.
The Royals are now on a 4-game losing streak with Game 2 of the series tonight at 7:10 p.m. in Kansas City. The fourth and final major of the tennis season began Monday in New York City. The U.S. Open started with a massive upset as the 4th seed Holger Rune lost to the Spanish underdog Roberto Carballes Baena. U.S. star Francis Tiafoe won his first-round game in straight sets, and Coco Gauff won in 3 sets over Laura Sugerman. First-round play continues today with 3-seeded American Jessica Pegula playing at 1 p.m. and 1-seeded and defending winner Carlos Alcaraz playing at 7:30 p.m. That will do it for the All Red 995 Sports Report. I'm Kyle Mathas. From the NCN Sports Desk, this is Kyle Mathas with your All Red 99.5 Sports Report. This Sports Report is brought to you by Jefferson Community Health and Life in Fairbury, Members-Owned Credit Union in Beatrice and Lincoln, Sat Bros of Philly, Crete, Lincoln, and Hanover, Kansas, Chapel Roofing in Fairbury, Heath Sports Shop in downtown Crete, and Norris Public Power District. In softball scores around the state of Nebraska, Norris lost to Blair 10-2, Crete beat Fairbury 11-1. Wilbur Claytonia defeated Milford 13-0, and Beatrice fell to Wahoo 7-6. In volleyball scores, Crete defeated Columbus 3-1, with Tri-County sweeping Falls City, Sacred Heart in straight sets. Norris swept Lincoln Northwest 2-0, Diller Odell swept Southern 3-0, and BDS swept both of their games against Sutton and Sandy Creek. York fell to Platteview 3-1, Milford defeated Fairbury in 4 sets, and Beatrice beat Plattsmouth in 3 sets. The Don't Coaches live show will take place tonight at 7 p.m. at the College Heights Country Club in Crete. Joining the show is linebacker Reese Zudavern and wide receiver Jeremiah Payne. Of course, Coach Chris Besser will join the show as well. The Dome football game against Dort Saturday has been moved from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. kickoff in Crete, according to University Athletics. They say it was because of oppressive heat. Nebraska tight end Eric Gilbert, a former 5-star recruit, has been arrested early Tuesday on suspicion of burglary in Lincoln. Gilbert was arrested without incident while carrying a bag out of a liquor store, according to Lincoln police. Matt Rule spoke on the matter.
Really disappointed, really sad for him. When we took Eric, we thought we had a good. We knew we had a good group of people that were going to help him through some of the issues he's dealing with in his life. Have been really proud of the job he had done in the spring, summer. But to be honest, during camp, he's had some struggles. He's been working to overcome them. We have a great group of people here trying to help him. And then obviously last night happened. So I don't have a lot of details. You guys probably have more details than me. I got a quick phone call and then went out to the field. So, we'll work through those, as we get more information. But sad and disappointed. Disappointed for him and his family. Disappointed, obviously, for the business owner. And we'll have to just work through it as we move forward.
The Huskers start the season tomorrow against Minnesota in Minneapolis. Nebraska Volleyball Day will take place today as the Huskers will play a historic game against Omaha in Memorial Stadium in front of 90,000 fans tonight. The game will start at 7 p.m. and can be watched on Big Ten Network or Fox Sports. That game could break the record for largest fan attendance in a volleyball game. The Pirates beat the Royals 6-3 in Kansas City Tuesday. Despite the 2 hits from catcher Freddie Furman, it was 3 hits from Pirates shortstop Leo Verpugero to push the Pirates to the win. The Royals are now on a 5-game losing streak, heading into the final game of the Pirates series tonight. They will play the Red Sox on the weekend in Kansas City. The Cubs beat the Brewers in a low-scoring affair 1-0. It was the Cubs bullpen who delivered in the clutch. Mark Leiter Jr., Julian Merriweather, and Adbert Alzolay, who pitched 3 innings combined and gave up 1 hit in the win, were big factors.
On the ground to the right side, that'll get a run home. Kerrang to first, and Bellinger knocks in the first run of the night, 1-0 Cubs.
The Cubs are safely in the second wildcard spot in the National League, but are still 4 games behind the Brewers in the NL Central. It was a tough break for San Francisco Giants pitcher Alex Cobb, who had a no-hitter through 9 2/3 innings Tuesday night, but gave up a hit courtesy of Cincinnati Reds second baseman Spencer Steer, who got a hit with 2 outs.
To right center. That's down. The no-no spoiled by Steer. Senzel scores a standing RBI double by Spencer Steer. Denies Cobb history against the Reds on the board.
The Giants got the win 6-1 in the game, but the win was overshadowed by the missed no-hitter opportunity. It would have been the first time for the Giants since 2015. In NFL news, Indianapolis Colts running back Jonathan Taylor is staying with the team after he had refused to join the team for preseason practice and demanded a trade. No trade could be hashed out for the running back, and he will stay on the PUP, physically unable to perform list. In the second day of the U.S. Open in New York City, it was an American upset as Michael Momo upset the 11-seeded Russian Karen Khachanov in straight sets. 3-seeded Jessica Pegula beat Camila Giorgi in a sweep, and top-seeded Carlos Alcaraz took care of business in the first round over Dominic Koepfer, who came down with an ankle injury and had to retire mid-match. The second round starts Wednesday in the tennis tournament in New York City with important matches from Novak Djokovic, Francis Tiafoe, and Iga Swiatek. That will do it for the Ole Red 99.5 Sports Report. I'm Kyle Mathas. From the NCN Sports Desk, this is Kyle Mathas with your Ole Red 99.5 Sports Report. This Sports Report is brought to you by Western United Mutual Insurance, Home Office in Wilbur, Beatrice Community Hospital and Health Center, Tatro Chiropractic in Fairbury, AgWest Commodities, your marketing partner, online at goagwest.com, Plymouth Irrigation and Plymouth Electric, Sherbarth Ace Hardware in Fairbury, Miller Sales in Claytonia, and Lamo Plumbing in Beatrice. Multiple high school volleyball games are set for Thursday night. Playing at home will be Crete playing Blair, BDS will play Hampton, and Superior goes up against Lauren Nelson. Fairbury will play Auburn at home, And Johnson County Central will play a doubleheader against Falls City and Humboldt Table Rock Steinauer. Wilbur-Claytonia will also host 2 games against Heartland and Sand Creek. In softball scores around the state slated for Thursday evening, multiple regional teams will be hosting home games. Playing at home will be Beatrice hosting Ashland Greenwood. Crete will play Lincoln Northwest. Diller-Odell will play FCEMF. Norris will go up against Seward, and Freeman plays Malcolm and Milford in a doubleheader. Wilbur-Claytonia will play on the road against Auburn. It is finally game day for Nebraska football as the Huskers will go up against Minnesota and Minneapolis for Week 1 action. The Golden Gophers averaged 28.2 points per game last season with over 2,000 passing and 2,000 rushing yards. The Huskers averaged only 22.6 points per game with over 2,000 passing yards, but only around 1,600 rushing yards. Head coach Matt Rule talks about his confidence heading into the game this evening.
I'm confident that we're going to be a physical team. I'm confident that if things don't go well early, that we're not going to panic. I'm confident that if things do go well early, we're not going to celebrate. You know what I mean? Like I think our guys understand that this is a 60-minute game and this is a 12-game season. And I'm confident we'll have fun together.
The Huskers will go up against the Gophers at 7 p.m. tonight on Fox. In other college football news, the University of Utah's quarterback Cam Rising is doubtful for tonight's opening game in Salt Lake City against the Florida Gators. Rising is 18-6 as a starter, which is 5th most in wins by a quarterback in Utah Utes history. Junior Bryson Barnes is expected to start Thursday night against the Gators on ESPN. The game will take place at the same time as the Nebraska game at 7 p.m. Volleyball Day in Nebraska was a record-breaking day with over 90,000 fans showing up to watch Omaha, Nebraska do battle in Memorial Stadium.
Murray goes to the pin, caught up in the block with Beeson. Harper Murray, the reigning freshman of the week in the Big Ten.
It broke the record for largest crowd to watch a volleyball game with 92,003 fans. Nebraska swept Omaha 3-0 in front of the massive crowd. The event will do well to give more recognition to women's volleyball in the college athletic game. The Royals lost to the Pirates 4-1, bringing their losing total to 6 losses straight. A hit from Bobby Witt and Freddie Furman was not enough to beat the pitching of the Pirates, who held the Royals to just 4 hits.
That's what Page said. Home plate don't move. This ball 5 ball deep to center field. Jack Sawinski clears the deck with a cannonball coming. Jack Sawinski.
Kansas City will play at home this weekend against the Red Sox in Kauffman Stadium. Novak Djokovic won his game today in straight sets in the U.S. Open, while 5-seeded Stefanos Tsitsipas and 4-seeded Casper Ruud lost their games. Coco Gauff and Iga Swiatek won in straight sets in their second-round matches, and Americans Francis Tiafoe and Taylor Fritz advanced to the next round with sweeps of their own. In other regional MLB scores, the Chicago White Sox defeated the Baltimore Orioles 10-5. The St. Louis Cardinals defeated the San Diego Padres 5-4 at home, with Tommy Edman having his second straight walk-off homer. The Cubs, off of Cody Bellinger's home run in the 8th inning, beat the Brewers 3-2 for the second straight game. And the Colorado Rockies fell to the Atlanta Braves at home 7-3 courtesy of a 2-run homer by Orlando Arcia, which set an Atlanta Braves record. That'll do it for the Ole Red 99.5 Sports Report. I'm Kyle Mathas. From the NCN Sports Desk, this is Kyle Mathas with your Ole Red 99.5 Sports Report. This sports report is brought to you by Building Tech, your Seco Building Systems builder in Beatrice. Creative Surfaces, your countertop specialists of Beatrice. Premier Chevrolet Buick GMC of Beatrice. Discover the premier difference. Crete Area Medical Center, Wilbur and Friend Medical Clinics. Smith Auto in Pawnee City. Learn more at smithauto.ne.com. And need financing for heavy machinery, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, RVs, ATVs, or other expensive items? Visit gocurrency.com for details. In high school volleyball scores around the state, BDS defeated Hampton in straight sets, and Superior swept Lawrence Nelson in a sweep. Fairbury swept Auburn 3-0. In softball scores, Beatrice fell to Ashland Greenwood 3-0. Diller Odell were defeated by FCEMF 10-4. And Wilbur Claytonia lost to Auburn 10-0. And high school football scores set for tonight. For teams playing at home, Johnson County will go up against Conestoga. Norris will host Elkhorn High. Freeman will go up against Elmwood Murdoch. Milford will play host to Fillmore Central. Deschler will go up against Humboldt Table Rock Steinauer. Meridian will play Red Cloud. And Tri-County will host Utah. For teams playing road games, Beatrice will go up against Waverly. Crete will play a road game against Lexington. Diller Odell will play Southern. EMF will go up against McCool Junction. Fairbury will be on the road against Falls City. Thayer Central will play Sutton. And Wilbur Claytonia will go up against Louisville. On Ole Red 99.5, our marquee high school football game of the week will be BDS going up against Superior at 7:30 p.m. right here on Ole Red 99.5. Pre-game coverage will start tonight at 7 p.m. Doane football will play at home against the Dordt University Defenders Saturday. Kickoff, which was scheduled for 1 p.m., has been moved to 7 p.m. for heat concerns during the afternoon in Crete. Listen to the game on Ole Red 99.5 or watch on News Channel Nebraska. The Nebraska Cornhuskers lost in a heartbreaker to the Minnesota Golden Gophers 13-10 Thursday night. Minnesota quarterback Ethan Kaliakmanis threw for 196 yards and a touchdown, and Nebraska quarterback Jeff Sims threw for 114 yards with a touchdown as well, but he had 3 interceptions. Nebraska rushed for 181 yards in the game. The game started with an opening field goal for the Gophers, which put them up 3-0. The Huskers were on a drive to end the half when Sims threw an interception in the end zone to Trayvon Jones to end the half 3-0.
Lamir Johnson next to him. Here's Sims to throw it. Looking in the end zone. Intercepted. Trayvon Jones.
Nebraska ran a trick play early in the third quarter. It was a touchdown pass by Sims to Alex Bullock for the touchdown.
Second down and 9. They'll pitch it. Now they'll throw it back to Sims. Sims can't grab it. And he does finally. Delivers. It's a touchdown. Wow. Alex Bullock.
Nebraska kicked another field goal to go up 10-3, but it was a fumble by Anthony Grant late in the fourth to set up a touchdown drive and catch by Daniel Jackson.
Kaliakmanis looking. End zone. Touchdown. Gophers.
On the ensuing drive, Sims threw an interception to Tyler Newbin late in the game. The interception set up a game-winning field goal by Dragan Kisic from 47 yards out.
Clean snap, good hole, got it up, and it's good! And Minnesota comes back to win it!
I mean, obviously that was disappointing. A lot of credit to them, made 2 huge plays down the stretch. And I just told our team, and I want to make sure I say this, like there's no such thing as close losses. I already know a lot of people say, just another close loss. As I said to our guys, like we can be a really, really good football team. For us, this is the first game, and we saw the things that we need to improve upon. We had a chance in 2 minutes. We have the ball at the 50. We need to go down and win that game. Right?
The Huskers are 0-1 on the season and will play next weekend against the Colorado Buffaloes at 11 a.m. on Fox. In other college football scores, the Utah Utes, 14th in the nation, defeated the Florida Gators in Salt Lake City 24-11. This weekend, a regional MLB action. The Royals will be at home for a 3-game series against the Boston Red Sox. The Cardinals will play at home against the Pittsburgh Pirates through Sunday. The White Sox will play in Chicago against the Tigers, and the Cubs will go up against the Reds in Cincinnati. The NASCAR postseason is officially underway and will begin this weekend. Joey Logano, who won the NASCAR Cup Series last season, is looking to defend his crown. It starts Sunday with the Cookout Southern 500 at the Darlington Raceway in Darlington, South Carolina. The race will begin at 5 p.m. The U.S. Open in tennis continues with defending champ Carlos Alcaraz taking care of business over South African Lloyd Harris, with American Madison Keys and Jessica Pegula winning in straight sets. The third round will continue through the weekend with notable names like Francis Tiafoe, Novak Djokovic, Iga Swiatek, Coco Gauff, and others in New York City. Coverage will be all weekend on different ESPN channels. That will do it for your Ole Red 99.5 Sports Report. I'm Kyle Mathas.